think originality comes with, like, do you believe you're original? Because from the outside looking in, it's going to be easy to compare me to whoever knows.
Trackstarz.com/brands. Again, that's Trackstarz with a Z.com/brands.
Salute. This is Eshawn Burgundy. Right now, you're in the field with the Trackstarz. Yeah.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. What's good?
All right, for all things Trackstarz, visit www.trackstarz.com. Like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram at Trackstarz, Twitter at Trackstarz.
All right, so we wanted to do something. We were talking, we have a meeting on Thursdays for Trackstarz, and we're talking about what originality is, right? So there's a lot of people saying there's not enough original music anymore, things sound derivative and this and that. So we want to do something called the Art of Originality. And we've been doing this Art of series, right? What is original to you, right? What is it that you expect to see when you think original?
Live instrumentation, freestyling, all of that. That's original to me.
What if you just confine it to what you hear on an album? What's original to you?
Story. The storyline of an album.
Okay.
That's original to me.
So nothing style-wise that makes you feel like something's original?
Not necessarily. So when I think about it, you talk about originality, I'm thinking that everybody's influenced by somebody.
Yep.
Right? So, and even the greatest artists, you can hear their influence. You know, I think when I think originality, I go all the way back to artists that I can't trace. You know, one artist that I can't trace that I felt was so original was Marvin Gaye. But that was my parents' time, and that's because I can't trace back to see who his influences were, right? And so that's when I think about originality. Also, when my dad would tell me, like, y'all took that beat from us. Like, that was a George Clinton beat. That was P-Funk. And I was like, really? Didn't know that. Who is that? You know what I mean? So it's a way for me to understand that people are sampling and changing beats and things of that nature. And so that cancels out originality to me. But when it comes down to like a studio project, the storyline, you telling your story that's authentic to who you are. Somebody who I think is original is Jackie Hill Perry. Yeah. I think she's very original because you hear her just kind of like bar after bar telling a story to you. And it's not, you know, a gimmick or anything like that.
What's original to you, kid?
It's probably won't make any sense. I think for me, just you hear a lot of like beats and stuff that are the same and different things. I think just personality, I think I can tell like that a person really knows who they are, whether you hear little hints or different things of people, but I think just personality, you can really tell that somebody's like, I'm very confident in this style of music and that, which may not be original. You might be a confident Drake, but I think I hear certain music and I'm like, hey man, I think he's really like found himself and feels like, I think originality comes with like, do you believe you're original? Because from the outside looking in, it's going to be easy to compare me to whoever knows.
Now, this might sound bad, and I'm going to make a lot of people mad, but I have to say it. When you're someone like a Kid Got It and you don't use auto-tune.
What do you mean? Like
when you don't use auto-tune when you're mixing and mastering or you putting out a project and you just use your voice, right?
What are you saying? What about that?
Well, I'm just saying that I think your voice is originality on your project.
But everybody uses auto-tune. Even the people you don't think do.
I know, in a way, but I'm saying that to me, that's originality if you're not using that.
So now what's interesting, I did not use auto-tune on Kid Got It on that song.
That's what I'm saying, I know.
But I could have. I mean,
you could have.
It depends on if he's sing-songy or not. Because, I mean, that's just auto-tune. I think people have associated auto-tune with T-Pain.
Yeah.
With the auto-tune, the sound.
Yeah.
But everybody who sings has auto-tune on their voice. It's just pitch correction.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's original or not. Unless you're trying to emulate the T-Pain sound.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
I was just thinking about this originality concept, and I'm like, what do people really want when they say that? And what are they complaining about? And it sounds to me like they're complaining that everything sounds the same recently. Like everything that comes out sounds the same recently. But everybody is taking from some time, right? So it sounds like what people who say, I want this to be original mean is steal from something that I haven't heard of before,
or in a
or
while.
steal from something I haven't heard from in a while, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what that means? Because what's the last original thing you've heard? Like I've never, no one has ever heard this before ever.
When I think about that, I think about Michael Jackson, right?
Michael Jackson?
I think about Michael Jackson. I think about how his music was just so like original, right? And then now you have, I mean, even his dancing was original to me. Like all of that to
But it
me.
wasn't.
I know James Brown probably led the way for Michael Jackson. There's, like I said, the influence.
But I mean, even like things like the moonwalk, like he saw somebody do that and then he did it. Like people, I just wonder, who do you guys think is like just coming up with stuff out of their butt?
Oh, I give
You know what I mean?
I give
Like,
up on that.
And I think when people are saying they want original, this is what I have come to understand, right? It's like your grandma's recipes, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows your grandma probably stole them joints from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But those recipes are kind of like a collection of everything you've seen over your life and have been made into this, right? So my grandma's brownie recipe may be a little bit different than your grandma's brownie recipe, right? They're both brownies, but mine tastes a little bit different. And I think what people mean when they say they want something to be original is I want your grandma's brownie recipe. I don't want you to see Ryan's grandma recipe and steal his recipe. I know yours is stolen too, but at least it's a culmination of everything you've learned since you've been born.
Yeah.
So when I think when people say original, what they mean is let this really be you. Do you really like this, or are you just doing it because you think it'll work? When people perceive that you're doing something just because it's working, that feels unoriginal. They know that you've probably taken a little bit from Lupe, a little bit from Biggie, a little bit from Tupac, a little bit from this and this, all the stuff you heard growing up. They know that. But at least they want, okay, that's your actual life though. You actually grew up with that stuff. So even if it shows up in your music today, at least I know that's your actual story versus you saying, oh, I heard that worked over there. So even though I grew up with this and this is all that makes me, I'm just going to copy that over there because it's working. So make your own brownie is, I guess, what people are really trying to say. I know you're using other people's ingredients, but at least it's your brownie. Give me yours.
Yeah.
And I think to be original, you really have to be brave because your originality may not be popular. Your sound may not be interesting to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You have to be brave enough to still be like, this is my sound, whether it's popular or not, and stick to it. And it doesn't mean you can't learn from the reaction to your sound and incorporate some of the new stuff that you hear, but I think people still want your brownie recipe, like what makes you, not just the stories, but the type of drums you choose, whether you use an 808 or not. And is that do you really want to use that, or are you using it because that's what's selling right now?
I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
I get, yeah. Kind of like how you make sure how your presentation of what you like, make sure that when they even if it does sound like a Future, they know that they're getting.
Yeah, I mean, that's because there's a lot of people who grew up the same way Future did. So it's understandable that somebody else may also sound similar to Future. But when I hear yours, does it sound like you took Future's brownie recipe, or does it sound like this is also your recipe? Your grandmas grew up in the same town.
Yeah,
that's different. You see what I'm saying? So if it feels authentic to you, then it's like, okay, I understand why you sound like so and so and so and so. But if there's no reason for it, and it sounds like, or your last project sounded like this, and now this one sounds totally. That's when people start being like, it sounds like you're just taking other people's recipes.
It's like what they got on Post Malone for, saying
maybe, like where'd you learn this from? Is this like all the way from childhood, or is it just you just copy paste?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense.
That does make sense.
And that's why I say bravery is hard. Like when you're actually sitting there writing music and choosing beats and all that kind of stuff, it's like, you know what you like what makes you go like, oh, that's it. That's it. But then you have to be like, yeah, but that don't sound like God's plan. That don't sound like what's hot right now. I mean, look at Aha Gazelle and look at Lecrae and look at so and so. That's not what they sound like right now. So should I change it to what they sound like, or should I just be like, no, this is it. Even if nobody else likes it, this is it. You see what I'm saying? And be brave enough to be like, you know what? I'm going with it just how it is.
You know, I brought this up on the call not too long ago. Like, who are we making the music for, right? Who are artists making the music for? If your label or your friend or whoever's listening to your music and giving you your support system says, no, that's not a good song, scrap it. Do you put it on the album because it was your favorite song that you made? You know, we had Fizz sitting here, and he was saying like, I let Lecrae hear something, and Lecrae was like, "That's your song. That's your song. That's it. That's the next one you gotta drop."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, but you didn't like the one I chose, because I like that one better than the one you like."
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference. There's people you can put in your circle of trust that know you, that know what you're trying to say, that know what you're trying to get out. That can be a good sounding board for you. It's like a board of directors, right? And Lecrae is in his board of directors, right? Sincere is in my board of directors. My wife is in my board of directors. You're in my board of directors. To where if you say, that don't really sound right, you know me enough to know that, okay, this other song that I made is also me. I'm not faking this song either. Yeah. But that song just comes out better.
Yeah.
That's where you can pull people in and say, you know what, I trust you enough. You know me enough to be like, okay, between these two, which one is better? Because I may be narrow focused right now. Yeah. I may like what I said on the third verse. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm giving a pass to the first two because I want you to get to the third joint. And nobody is going to give you that much time to start liking a song. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because as your board of directors, like, I know that everybody in this room would pick a different single for you to send to a radio station. Right. Me, I would pick They Know. Yeah. You would pick maybe what? Abandon. You would pick, what would you pick off your album to send to a radio station? First thing they hear, Sean David Grant.
Probably Good Enough.
Good Enough, okay. And so, and for me, They Know is because I love the way that joint comes in, right? I love the way, and then I don't even understand the hook, but I love the hook. Like, I mean, I understand your hook, but the part, like, it's gonna be a problem, and then I don't even know what they're saying. Yeah, I don't even know what they're saying in the samples. But that's the part where I'm like, this is what radio is missing. So, and what radio needs to hear. And if we're introducing you as an artist, this is the way we should introduce you. And the same thing with Rick Sincere. Like, Rick knows what song I want him to drop as his single. He knows it, and he doesn't care. He's still just like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, it's a balance. I mean, you gotta have your circle of trust, but you also gotta know your gut, right? If people are telling you to put out something that is like, I just don't like that. Like, you have to personally, like, whenever Sincere says, what do you think I should do? Or should I cut this song from my album? Should I da-da-da? I'm like, well, I think you probably should, but this is your album. You gotta like it. If my advice makes you not like your album, then you shouldn't do it. You see what I'm saying? Because it's yours first, right? I'm just giving you a suggestion as a third party person to say that may not go the way you think it may go, right? Or that may be too long or whatever. These are just wisdom advice. But at the end of the day, you got to pull the trigger, because this is you're putting your resume out there. This is your face to the world, right? So if somebody's like, yo, put that blue blush on your eyes, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna kill, you're like, I don't want to put blue blush. Like, you got to decide that at the end of the day, because that's gonna live forever. That's gonna be your blue blush eye forever on the internet. You see what I'm saying?
Now that makes sense. I think that it's interesting, because I'm pretty sure people who arrange and make and executive produce albums go through that with the artists. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be interested to see how we do with Kid. When we.
But the thing is, when you have somebody, when you have somebody that has experience, like, experience helps, right? So, I may have I'm gonna go back to the brownie metaphor. Yeah. If I have my grandma's brownie recipe, but I'm sitting in front of, like, Wolfgang Puck. Yeah. See what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah, I know grandma put vanilla in this brownie, but if you put coconut in it, it's going to really pop. Now I got to be like, okay, I trust you. You know how to make stuff, right? Yeah. So I'm going to take what grandma gave me, and I'm going to add some coconut. It's not going to kill the brownie recipe. It's just a little bit of coconut. It's not going to kill it. So you take things from people you trust that know what they're talking about. Yeah. You can't just take it completely. If he's like, scrap the brownie, let's make it over. It's like, no, I got to have this. This is me. I got to have this part. Yeah. So I think that's the challenge of the brownie. Make good brownies, y'all. Be original.
We just made brownies.
You in the field with the Trackstarz. First of all, thank you, Kid Got It, for coming through.
Oh, no problem. Thank y'all for having me.
Make sure you go get that new single. Tell them about it. Where to get it from?
Slight Flicks. It's available everywhere, man. Streaming everywhere you can get it and listen to it, man. Y'all stream it on repeat for me.
Yeah, all right, we will.
And everybody pray for Jackie Hill Perry.
Yeah,
couldn't make it today, but I'll try and post that video up so you can see what she said to you guys, because she really wanted to come and talk to you guys. And also pray for Jeremiah, who's out this week. Pray for us as we go out to LA next week to speak at a conference. And
continue praying for Chris for his recovery. He's had his 11th surgery.
Oh, you're talking about Crispy, yeah.
Yep. And we are expecting that he'll have maybe 4 to 5 more.
I think.
Yeah, 4 to 5 more.
Prophet is on here. He'll be able to tell us.
And we still don't know what happened all the way. We're still praying for God to give us clarity on that. Also, just keep praying for his whole heart, his whole well-being, everything. Cause
you said it was 11 surgeries so far.
11 surgeries so far. And so just keep praying for that, because we haven't talked to him, so we don't know what he's thinking. We don't know how he's processing all of this. But we just pray that the Comforter and the Holy Spirit is with him, you know, through all this. Just keep praying.
And we're up to like $80,000 so far, 82,000. So we're almost there, almost to 100,000. Let's finish this thing out strong, man. I mean, his family is like, this is all they can do for months, and he has a lot more surgeries to go. So let's at least get to the 100. Yeah, like we promised.
We'll figure out the rest later.
Right. All right, let's get back into it. You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let go.
Hey guys, Miracle here. Thank you so much for watching that episode. Make sure you go below, like it, subscribe, click the bell, and make sure you follow us on all forms of our social media. Also, check out our website and be sure you spread the word. We'll see you next time.
We know not what we doing. Screw that, they know, let them have it, do it. Okay, I'm erratic, prove it. Never mind, got a mind that'll wind up with me in a lineup behind bars with these bars. Okay, my time's up.
Team Freedom. Yeah. We not through yet. All right. Trackstarz Music presents.
Turn my volume up. Turn me off.